this morning, got a notification. Boomer Bunker's going live. It's Bob and John. You said, I guess I'll watch this shit show. I've got to kill some time. Then you clicked on that link now. You've got boomers in your eyes. Yeah, we woke up this morning. Our glory days are gone. Don't take us serious, cause we're probably wrong, but we're doing a podcast, baby. This means we're going live. It's Monday morning and it's Boomer Bunker time. So say it now. Woke up this morning with some boomers in your life. Woke up this morning, gotta put some boomers in your life. Boomer Bunker Prime Time. Time to discuss evildoers for 11 viewers. Hoping to turn a trip into McDonald's today into a content for this show. I am Boomer Bob, and the man who constantly reminds me that this is a one-way relationship, John Domingo.
Bob, how's it going?
So how's life been treating you there, John?
Like a Virginia jury treats Amber Heard.
Hey-oh!
It sets back the clock to a time when women who spoke up could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women should be taken seriously. Shut up, you lying twat. You got caught lying.
Hold on. We got to do this right.
There we go.
No, do that again.
Oh, we got to do it again?
Jesus
Christ. It sets back the clock to a time when women who spoke up could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women should be taken seriously.
I guess the moral of the story is don't shit in your bed. Like on purpose.
Got caught lying. Listen, I understand when crazy women break up with their man, they want to destroy him. It's not good enough to be just like, you know what, it didn't work out. Let's move on. You know what? Bygones be bygones. Let's remember the good times, not the bad. No, I want to ruin this motherfucker. And I'll tell you what, it took balls of steel for Johnny Depp to sue her. And I don't know if anybody won because, I mean, I guess he got like 13 million.
I heard
she got 2.
I heard 15. Oh, she got 2.
Well, it was supposed to be 10 million and then 5 million in damages. But in the state of Virginia, damages are capped at 350,000. So he got 10,350,000. And she got 2 million because he said something nasty about her. So he gets 8,350,000, which he'll never see. He'll never see a dime of that money. But because he ruined her. I mean, she's not going to work anymore. Who's going to pick her to work on a project? She's done.
It's also why Gen Xers shouldn't mess with millennials.
That's possible too. So you know how I'm not really into I didn't watch the trial at all. I know some people, Dave, who were into it, were watching it every day. But I did watch the verdict because I wanted to see what happened. And it was just like, did they prove that she did it maliciously? Yes, yes, yes. And I just wanted to see her show any kind of emotion. Nothing. There was nothing.
Nothing.
Not a cry, not a sniffle, not a nothing. She just sat there, resting bitch face. And where's Johnny Depp? He's over in England playing with his band or playing with somebody. I forget who he's playing with. He's over there playing with another guitarist. I can't think who it was. Can't remember. But so that's that.
I just pulled the file. I don't know if I should. I just noticed that Nick dropped something in our Discord, and do you think I should be brave and play it? Because I don't know what this is.
Play it. I want to hear it. Let's play it. Fuck it.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Objection relevant.
Thanks, Nick. That was a good one.
All righty then.
So you know what today is, Bob?
Hump day.
Yes, it is.
I know what it is. I know what it is. Hold on. Let me surprise everybody with what it is. I got a special video for it. Okay, guys, these are two dudes, so don't go get your lube.
Why did you tell everybody?
With sugar and spice, how to be a gay ally. Step 1, only refer to us as your gay best friend. Remember, we only respond to, hey gay. Step 2, use this as a prop or accessory. We're clearly only useful for gossiping, shopping, and telling you that you look pretty. Step 3, make sure to go to Gay Pride and wear your Love is Love t-shirt. All while staying with your homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, woman-hating, Trump-loving boyfriend. And that was bad advice with sugar and spice.
What a way to bring in Pride Month, huh?
Yeah, well, I looked at Facebook today, and my Philadelphia Eagles, I saw this. Oh, come on. It's
A circle. I like circles.
Fucker.
They're into Jen Psaki. They're going to circle back.
They're going to circle back. It was the Eagles logo.
Oh, the Pride logo?
Rainbow. Yeah, it was Rainbow Pride Eagles logo. And I was
see if I can bring that up for you since you were unable to do it there, buddy.
God, I was like, man, come on. Nothing the Eagles fans hate worse than that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are kind of gay.
How dare you? We are not gay.
They don't start fucking Jalen. They're gay.
I don't know what they're going to do with him, to be honest with you.
Trade him.
No. You know what? He's going to get a year. He's going to get a year to prove if he can. Listen, if he can throw the long ball, he's good.
I should take that down, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should take that down, Bob.
Sorry.
So, Bob.
Let's live with you.
So what did you do for the first day of LGBTQ plus Pride Month?
Tried not to suck anybody off.
Did you? How did that work out?
Sorry, did that come out loud? It was pretty easy since I'm not gay. Wait a minute, I am gay, so that way this doesn't get taken down.
Oh.
So I'll tell you what I did do.
Mm-hmm.
I had a big, giant, almost 2,000 square foot unit to paint today, a 3-bedroom unit. So I was tired after work. I don't usually run through McDonald's and all that crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to. And what I got in the bag was this. Now I'll have to show you the front.
Okay.
New wages, new opportunities, crew members, $13 to $16.50 an hour. Janitorial maintenance, blah, 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 right? Restaurant store manager, $56 to $72 a year. Get started today by texting, blah, 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 right?
Right.
And so if you'll notice all the
grease marks.
Yes. So let's go to the back of it. Let's go to the back of it. I remember now, we've talked about this here recently on this show that I haven't filled out a job application or done a interview in a long time because, well, I own my own business. I've owned it for 10 years now and blah, 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 blah. So not real common to do interviews for painting jobs, which is what I do. So here's the back of it. How are you supposed to, number one, how are you supposed to write on that?
Well,
they know ain't gonna take to that grease.
No.
Tape it to the outside of the bag or something, right? Staple it. It's a mini employment application. Name, phone number, which little bitty tiny amounts of room there for that. Address, city, state, zip code, email. Have you been convicted? Check out this English here. Have you been convicted of a felony or sex offender in the past 5 years? That should be sexual offense or not sex offender.
Is that what bothers you, Bob? Because you know what bothers me? In the past 5 years.
Yeah,
5 years and beyond.
I would say
not a problem.
Sex offender, that should pretty much go back to DNA, right?
Well, I'm just, it's like, so you're sitting there to go, in the past 5 years, no, not in the past 5
Nope.
years.
I haven't fucked a kid in at least 10.
Right.
All right. Okay. Are you legally authorized? Are you legally authorized? Authorized. Who's authorizing you?
I would
To
imagine
work in
the
the
United States of America.
And then it has availability hours, each day of the week. Do you have transportation to work? I certify that my answers are true and complete to the best of my knowledge. If you don't know your name, phone number, address, city, state, zip code, email, and if you've been convicted,
never convicted.
to the best of my knowledge,
never convicted.
Then it says take a picture or scan of your application and text it to this number. What is that? How we do this now?
That's how we do it, Bob. They make it really, really easy. And you notice that's Johnson.
Well, yeah, this is some local.
Yeah.
It's Johnson Partners Incorporated. They're the local, McDonald's.
Johnson Partners Inc. McDonald's.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. So
again, they're not looking for rocket scientists. All right. What they're looking for is can you put the hamburger in the bag? Can you get the right soda?
I disagree, because if you can get ink to take to this piece of shit fucking application, then you're a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, if that was me, Bob, the first thing I'd do is get a Sharpie marker. I think a Sharpie marker would work on that grease.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that grease. Maybe if you washed that application in Dawn first
and then let it dry.
Yeah. Well, or you can use a blow dryer. Depends on how desperate you are for the job.
Could you try that? Could you try to get the grease out of it and see if you could write on it? Could that be your assignment for next Monday?
I don't really need a job that bad.
I understand. It's not, Bob.
We know you want me to do it. Yeah, because I have nothing better to do than to wash applications.
Bob, it's show prep. I mean, it's show prep. What? Have Tammy do it.
Whoa! I can't give my wife orders. What makes you think you
give her a honey-do list?
My
here
wife
you go, honey.
Is around here. I'm
see if you get the grease out of this and see if something will write on it. There you go. That'll work. So anyhow, if I could, if you wouldn't mind,
I wish you would sometimes.
Yes.
The Boomer Bunker is more than a podcast. We're also a nonprofit organization.
We are. Now, we're still here. We didn't freeze.
I'll pose another question. What if this inflation was to force people into weight loss and Biden just wants a healthier populace? That's his plan.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, it's to make it to where we can't afford to eat, so we all lose weight because we're all a bunch of fat fuckers.
Interesting. I have something to talk about later on when I do my Hey Bob segment.
Oh, I thought you were. I paused for a second because I wasn't sure if you were actually asking me.
We don't talk about what we do on the show, and I don't know if you read what's going on here, but I have this. Hey Bob, I've been thinking.
Oh, down there at the bottom. Yeah,
yeah.
That was
I figured I would save that for last.
All this talk about banning guns. I wish they'd ban Guns N' Roses.
Really? Before we get off the LGBTQ, you know that the president had a proclamation about the month. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
You want to hear what the official White House proclamation says?
I'm sure that the calendar in the White House doesn't even have the names of the month on it. It just has what group has that month this month, like June. No, it's Pride Month.
Okay. So
you know what I mean?
A proclamation on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex Pride Month 2022. During lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersexual LGBTQI plus Pride Month, we reflect on the progress we've made as a nation in the fight for justice, inclusion, and equality, while reaffirming our commitment to do a more supportive LGBTQI plus rights at home and abroad. I often say that American can be defined by one word: possibilities. This month, we celebrate generations of LGBTQI plus people who have fought to make the possibilities of our nation real for every American. Today, the rights of the LGBTQI plus Americans are under relentless attack. Relentless attack, Bob. The members of the LGBTQ plus
would you
community?
stop with the alphabet?
Nope. Equally, people of color and trans people continue to face discrimination and cruel, persistent efforts to determine their human rights. No, to undermine. Excuse me. I read as good as Biden does. The onslaught of the dangerous anti-LGBTQI plus legislation has been introduced and passed in states across the country, targeting transgender children and their parents, interfering with their access to health. And the unconscionable attacks have left countless of LGBTQI plus families in fear and pain. All of this compounded has been especially difficult on who, Bob? The LGBTQ plus youth. 45%.
I'm sledding down powdered sugar on my waffle.
I'm going through this thing. I don't care.
Happy place.
45% of whom seriously considered attempting suicide in the last year.
I'm one of them.
A devastating reality to our nation must work urgently to address. This month, we remind the LGBTQ plus community that they are loved and cherished. My administration see you for what you are. Mindless voters will do whatever I say. Deserving of dignity, respect, and support. And I said in my State of the Union address, especially to our younger transgender Americans, I will always have your back and sniff your hair as your president so that you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential. Today and every day, my administration stands with every, LGBTQ plus I plus American in an ongoing struggle against intolerance, discrimination, and injustice. We condemn the dangerous state laws and bills that target the LGBTQ I plus youth, and we remain steadfast in our commitment to helping the LGBTQ I plus people in America and around the world live free from violence. Since my first day in office, I have taken a historic action to ensure everybody, that no matter who they are or whom they love, an equal place in our democracy. I've signed landmark executive orders changing the federal government with preventing and combating discrimination on a basis of sexual orientation and gender equality. This includes non-discrimination protections for who? The LGBTQI plus Americans in housing, healthcare, education, employment, credit, and lending services, and the criminal justice system. All right, I could go on, Bob, but because there's a couple more paragraphs. I didn't realize how long this was. Let me just read the last paragraph. Now, therefore, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, by virtue of stealing the last election, the authority invested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim June 2022 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex Pride Month. I call upon the people of the United States to recognize the achievements of who? The LGBTQI plus community, to celebrate the great diversity of American people, and to wave their flags of pride high. There you go.
I'm surprised we only lost 3 viewers during that.
Hey, you know what? Over in Iraq, they celebrated Gay Pride Month. They threw 30 gays off a roof. Boo! Whee! Nothing? All right.
That was painful.
Wasn't it?
Who writes that shit? You know he didn't do it.
Of course not. It was funny because I was reading. I was like, how many times can they put it in LGBTQ? It's ridiculous. I can't even do it. Oh.
All right. We need a palate cleanser.
Okay.
Time for more shock face.
I love this.
I love shock face.
Where do they get this? I want this.
I think it's a Snapchat. Somebody on TikTok said it was called shook, and I think they meant shock because it looks. What does that mean, shook? So I've never used Snapchat in my life,
right?
But I would look up either shook or shock.
Okay.
Look at her mouth. Watch her mouth open.
Ew.
You too. Thanks for the Sean J. Great.
Sean J. the Great.
Fucking logo and blocking Pelosi's face when she got up.
Okay.
God, that fucking they live.
I got one for you. I call this Jamingo Climbs a Ladder.
Shortcut that last step, my boy.
Oh, was me, Bob. Oh, was me.
That's why you're not in the elevator business anymore.
Pretty much. So people,
Down, go boom. You went,
all you audio listeners, you really missed one. That was a good one. How do I get that off of there now? Oh, I see. Do that. That'll work. I'll tell you what. The more that I think that we know about the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, the more shit comes out every day. They have lying sons of bitches over there. They're right now. There's
10 different stories on 10 different details of that whole thing. Like I don't know what to fucking believe anymore.
Well, they said that the teacher left the door propped open, but once they heard that there was a active shooter, the teacher tried to go take and shut the door, but the door didn't lock, and that's how they got in.
Yeah, there was a rock holding the door open, and she knocked the rock out of the way, and then she saw the guy, I guess, with the gun, but apparently she didn't make sure that the door locked. I mean, what good would that have done? I'm pretty sure his gun could have fucking busted the glass, and he could have just reached in and popped it.
Maybe you don't know. You don't know what the door. I don't know what the door looks like. I have no idea. But I'll tell you what. They are circling the wagons right now. They have stopped cooperating with the investigation, which is amazing. I think that somebody's got to go. Not sure who, but somebody's got to go.
Well, do you think that Abbott is looking up right now what he can do to get that guy out of his new position?
He might be. The Uvalde Police School District is no longer cooperating with the Texas probe. Sources say the police and school district police are no longer cooperating with the Texas Department of Public Safety probe into the Robb Elementary School shooting. This happened once the police chief and spokesman for the why can't I say that? Uvalde Independent School District did not immediately. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a where is it here? This is why I try to do this. I try to shorten these up so I don't have to screw around.
I got it.
Once a spokesman for the Texas Department of Public Safety said the police department and CISD police have been cooperating with the investigation. Once the police chief said that this was a mistake and they should have went in right away, then they automatically stopped communicating and also stopped cooperating with the investigation. So that's what's going on there. And nobody seems to, like I said, I don't know why people haven't been fired already. This guy right here, this guy that they just actually elected to the town's committee, this guy's got to go. He has to be fired from his job right away. But now he's on the town's committee, so I don't think that's going to happen. But it's disgusting. The whole thing is just disgusting. They're burying people. The kids are being buried as we speak. So
we just got this clip in this image from Discord.
Gun should not be in the hands of the mentally unstable, says senile man with nukes. Ain't that the truth?
The mail order president himself.
Yeah. Well, kids are stupid. I don't know if you heard this, Bob.
No.
A 10-year-old arrested for threatening a mass shooting at a school. Lee County, Florida, on Saturday, May 28th, the Lee County Sheriff's Office learned that a threatening text message was sent by a fifth grader to a Patriot Elementary School. The school threat enforcement team immediately notified and began research. Due to the nature of the incident, the Youth Service Criminal Investigations assumed the case. Detectives interviewed the suspect, 10 years old. They named this kid. I can't believe they named him. And developed probable cause for his arrest. He was charged with making a written threat to conduct a mass shooting. The student's behavior is sickening, especially after the recent tragedy. Making sure our students are safe is paramount. We will have law and order in our schools. My team didn't hesitate not 1 second to investigate this threat. Right now is not the time to act like a little delinquency. It's not funny. The child made a fake threat and now he's experiencing real consequences. Absolutely. I applaud these people. I applaud this sheriff. This is what needs to be done. This is exactly what needs to be done. And everything that happens to this kid needs to be on the news. Everybody needs to know what's going on with him.
We have a conspiracy theory that we don't necessarily support, but hey, I like to share things and then disavow them.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Hillary was testifying about Benghazi? Probably not. You're too busy watching the elementary school massacre in Connecticut. Do you remember when Hillary got tattled on by Blumenthal for using illegal servers in the White House? Probably not. You're too busy watching the Charleston church shooting. Remember that time Hillary's campaign lawyer went to trial for lying to the FBI about Trump's Russian collusion? Probably not. You're too busy watching the Uvalde school shooting massacre.
Uvalde.
Mm-hmm.
Uvalde. Why can't I say that word?
I don't know. You know about our neighbors to the north?
Canada. Yes.
What's going on with those assholes? If not, he fit and tell you.
Botox dictator Justin Trudeau wasted no time in using the tragedy in the U.S. to his own political advantage in Canada. Now, Uvalde is more than 2,000 miles from Ottawa, but because of what Salvador Ramos was allowed to do in Texas, Canadians are no longer allowed to protect themselves. Justin Trudeau has introduced a bill that would ban Canadian citizens from buying, selling, and transferring handguns within their own country. Again, handguns were not the cause of the shooting in Uvalde. Uvalde is nowhere near Canada, and yet Justin Trudeau is using that tragedy to disarm anyone who disagrees with him. By the way, that law would empower courts to confiscate guns from people, even if they've not committed a crime. Watch Justin Trudeau announce this paragraph.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
Dude,
what's actually happening here is that people like Justin Trudeau know that their rule is illegitimate. They know perfectly well how resented they are, and they spend an awful lot of time thinking about civil unrest. You probably don't. You live in a democracy, so you don't imagine that anyone needs to be disarmed for political reasons. But people like Justin Trudeau can feel the deep resentment aimed at them, and they are fully intent on disarming the population.
You don't think that's happening here? You don't think that's what this is all about? This school shooting and all these other shootings that are going on? You don't think that's what this is all about?
Well, I got this. I was watching a dude this morning. His name's Preacher. I want to say 540, something like that, on Twitch. And he played this clip, and I thought it was funny.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership.
Oh, hey there, Jason.
Oh, what are you doing there?
Just gonna strip you of your rights there, if you don't mind.
Oh, I do mind, you big old hoser. Those are my guns.
Look, if you won't give up your guns, we're gonna have to take them from you and send you to work in the syrup mines, Jason.
Oh, well, fair enough. Then I guess we're just gonna have to have a Canadian boogaloo, if you don't mind there then.
Oh, okay, well, I'd prefer it if you wouldn't.
Sorry about that.
Oh, darn. Sorry about this. Sorry.
About to take another shot. You might want to duck over there.
Oh, well, thanks for the heads up there. Wouldn't want to get hit by one of those suckers.
What are friends for? Oh,
sorry.
Oh, darn.
Sorry about that.
That sure don't feel too good.
Yeah, those suckers really sting you, don't they?
Oh, you aren't joking.
Here, just hit me right here where I hit you first. Then we're even.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, here, just take your shot. Ooh, yeah, those suckers really do sting. Ooh, oh, darn. Just threw a grenade over at you. Might want to take cover there.
Oh, I'd hate for you to have to throw another. Oh, hey, you seem to have forgotten to pull the pin on your grenade there.
Oh, sorry for the inconvenience there.
Oh, we all make mistakes. No hard feelings.
Oh, it's a good thing I showed up to confiscate weapons, eh? Otherwise, senseless violence might have occurred.
Yay.
The thing is that Canada, they don't care for some reason. I don't know why they don't care, but they don't care. I mean, listen, everybody knows that Justin Trudeau's real father is Julio Castro. And he's just following his father's footsteps. He's going to disarm the population, and then he's just going to run it as a communist country, because that's what he is. Down deep in his bones, in his DNA, he's a fucking communist. And I don't care what I'm sorry, but that's what he is. In my humble opinion, that's what he is. So that's what's going to happen here. If maybe, I don't know. I don't know how much more time. Like right now, there is an article right now that came out of the Daily Wire. Russian officials threatens nuclear strike on the U.S., wiping out both coasts with 4 Satan II missiles. A Russian official threatened nuclear war against the U.S. for providing support to Ukraine, claiming that 4 Russian new intercontinental ballistic missiles could decimate both America's coast. I will tell you absolutely, completely that to destroy the entire east coast of the United States, 2 Sarmat missiles are needed. Same goes with the West Coast. 4 missiles, and there's nothing left. This was referenced to a report from CBS News earlier in this year that said that a nuclear strike on New York City would yield a mushroom cloud that would rise above the city's tallest buildings, which he responded to. The mushroom cloud would be visible from Mexico. So keep fucking around with this guy. Keep fucking around with this guy, because all I got to do is shoot him off the coast with a nuclear submarine, and you won't. Washington thinks they're so smart they'll be able to get out. They won't. They won't.
Well, the talk, this week that I've heard about this has been, every politician is all, yeah, we're fully committed to, giving them weapons to help them fight, and it's like, well, that's a problem.
Yeah. What would we do?
Why don't you be fully committed to your, I don't know, citizens?
See, Bob, back in the day, what would happen? Like in Vietnam. All right, we're fighting the Viet Cong. We're over there fighting. Well, China can't get in there and fight with us. So what they did was they just armed all the Viet Cong. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't go in the press and say they were doing it. They just fucking did it. Not our guy. Not our fucking demented in chief. He's out there saying, yeah, we're going to send advanced missile systems over there. Shut the fuck up, you moron.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, why don't you, I bet when he plays poker, he turns the cards the other way.
I'm bluffing. Look, I'm bluffing.
Look, I'm only bluffing. You could take the whole pot right now and I would lose.
Right. Jesus Christ.
You could go all in and get all my money.
You know what, Bob? We have a country of morons.
No.
We do. And the reason I say this is because today, if I found out that a woman who was gored by a bison at the Yellowstone National Park, she died. She was a 25-year-old from Grove City, Ohio, walked towards the bovine as it neared a boardwalk just north of Old Faithful. She got within 10 feet of the animal. It gored her and tossed her 10 feet into the air. Unfortunately, we don't have a video of that.
Damn it.
The victim suffered a puncture wound and some other injuries and was taken to the hospital.
See, this is why we need to fund the cause of getting Ring doorbell cams to bison.
Yes, that's what we need. Yellowstone visitors are advised to stay at least 75 feet away from a large animal like bison, elk, and bighorn sheep, deer, moose, coyotes, and at least 300 feet away from bears and wolves. You would think that this would be common sense.
So it's like COVID.
Bisons have injured more people in Yellowstone than any other animal. You know why? Because they think they're fucking cows and they can walk up and pet them. But no, they're unpredictable and can run 3 times faster than humans. Yeah, they're fast for big fucking fat things. So yeah, she's dead. And I don't know how many times I watch people in Yellowstone Park going out there trying to pet a fucking bison, and the next thing you know, they're getting bison stomped. And this is the problem. We're stupid. We are an uneducated population with no common sense.
Would you go pet a bison?
No, I wouldn't go pet a bison.
Why?
I wouldn't even pet a cow.
Because you're not stupid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so was this kind of a Darwin thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, well, bye's dumbass.
You think?
It's one freed up parking spot at Walmart's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. You got anything else?
Yeah. Speaking of bison, your favorite movie, if I'm correct, is Blazing Saddles. Right?
It is Blazing Saddles. I love that movie.
Well, this is Blazing Saddles edited for 2022. Ready? Here we go.
That's about it.
And it's over. There you go.
The opening credits and then the end.
Yeah. Finito.
So I went to the movies yesterday to see Top Gun 2. Have you watched Top Gun? Have you seen Top Gun?
I never saw one.
Well, let me just tell you something. I am a big fan of Top Gun, the first movie, and I could not wait for the second movie to come out. And it was supposed to come out right, and then COVID hit. So I've been waiting 2 years to watch that movie. And finally, I got tickets yesterday, and I went to the theater, went to the 12 o'clock show, midday, first show on a weekday. There was me and a bunch of other old people in there. It was amazing. There was hardly anybody in the theater. And I found out that old people talk more than black people in the theater. I was like, holy cow. So if you're a fan of Top Gun, then Top Gun Maverick, you got to go see it, because it's a perfect sequel to Top Gun. And of course, there's some corny things it doesn't, that you're like, that never happened. But of course, it's a movie. So what do you want? I mean, but it just fits, a chef kiss, as I would say.
Two questions.
Go ahead.
Is Kelly McGillis in it?
No, she is not.
And did Kenny Loggins have anything to do with the soundtrack?
Yes.
He did?
I think so.
Then I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I mean, if you got to see the first movie. If you don't see the first movie, the second movie won't make any sense. But you got to see one to go see two. And you can see one anywhere.
It's one of those. Great.
Yeah, you got to see the first one. Or you just can't go
5 hours of my life.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Editing podcasts, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I know your pain, Bob.
Well, let's see.
Wait, before we get into that. So one of the things, I went early because I wasn't sure. I haven't been in movies in a while, Bob, so I didn't want to miss anything. So I go there early, and they have all these like trailers for the movie, 20 minutes of trailers before we got to this show. But the thing that got me the most was the reason that we're having all these issues with people, how they believe in climate change and everything else, is the propaganda that goes on everywhere. So before the movie came on, this happened.
Ow.
Listen up, people.
Oh, this is a commercial.
I know a thing or two about extinction.
Have you seen this?
Let me tell you.
Yep.
And you'd kind of think this would be obvious. Going extinct is a bad thing. And driving yourselves extinct? In 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
They're responsible.
At least we had an asteroid. What's your excuse? You're headed for a climate disaster, and yet every year governments spend hundreds of billions of public funds on fossil fuel subsidies. Imagine if we had spent hundreds of billions per year subsidizing giant meteors. That's what you're doing right now. Think of all the other things you could do with that money. Around the world, people are living in poverty. Don't you think helping them would make more sense than, I don't know, paying for the demise of your entire species?
Nope. Welcome.
Now, let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now, As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance.
Oh, mask wearing too. This is the.
So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
So, if I may.
Sure.
The thing that created fossil fuel is telling me not to use fossil fuels.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
I'm being told by a fucking dinosaur not to use what they became or what we're told they became.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So you know how, like, the left tells everybody that the right's going to do what they're already doing?
Right.
Okay.
Or
Well,
left.
this is more of that.
Sure. Yeah.
This
correct.
is more of that. So if I may, I'd like to start a new segment, which is called, Hey, Bob, I've been thinking. And I've been thinking, Bob, you know what's going to kill us all? Trust.
Donuts. Oh.
Trust is going to kill us all.
Trust.
You know why?
Why trust?
Because we trust the wrong people. We trust our educators to educate our children to be critical thinkers, excuse me, have common sense. We trust that they're going to do that job. We don't want them to try to teach our elementary kids about transgender and then they can be any gender that they want, because some kids like to put a blanket on their neck and jump off the roof because they think they're a fucking superhero. They're not ready for that kind of information yet.
Doing acid a little too soon.
The other thing is we trust politicians because they tell us that they're in it for us, that they're going to go and they're going to represent us and they're going to do what's best for our interests. And they're not. They go in there and they do whatever is best for their own interests. So I'm thinking that we've been trusting people for too long. The media used to be what we used to keep the people in power in check. So in other words, the reason we needed a free press was so that they could just keep an eye on things. And then they would tattletale or they would ask questions about, hey, why are you doing that? Why are we doing this? Why are we, why is it that we have a formula plant that's out of service since February? We can't seem to get it back up right now. Why is that happening? But we can't. And we trust people. And I think right now that there's a great extinction going on and it's planned. It's planned for the simple fact that they're not doing a damn thing to stop it. The only thing that raised everybody out of poverty and made everybody's life better was cheap, renewable, sustainable energy, which is fossil fuel. What they got going on right now?
Or water.
What?
Or water.
Well, yes.
Sorry. Water.
But the thing is, how do you clean it if you don't have cheap, reliable energy to do that? The reason that we live as long as we do and we have all these breakthroughs is because we have cheap, reliable energy, and that's fossil fuel. And hey, listen,
and it works. And I think over the last 25 years, we've made pretty decent strides to increase economy and miles per gallon and help with the emissions.
But how many times have we said on this podcast that the people want to get rid of a certain amount of the population? And how would you
say almost every show we've at least ran in that direction for a minute or two?
All right. So what would be a great way of doing that? Raising the energy pricing. All right. They want to raise the price so nobody can afford fuel. All right. And then what that does is that raises everything. So the best way to take and make a prosperous country a third world country is to raise the price of fuel, and which raises the price of everything. Food, people can't afford it. And the next thing you know, now we got rolling blackouts because why? One of the things is that we don't have enough energy. So, and the energy that we're going to which is solar and wind, won't sustain us. So we're screwed. And they know it. They know this is going to happen. And they're doing it anyhow. And people don't care because climate change is going to kill us. It's not. What we're doing to prevent climate change, that's what's going to kill us. So there you go. That's
it's interesting. You know, I usually only on podcast days, I'll watch the first 20 minutes, half hour of the Today Show when it comes on. And they usually get into the weather roughly 20 minutes in. You know, Al Joker, his lap band have an ass, whatever the hell he has. Every time there's a little blob of rain on the map, he acts like it's gonna there's 78 million people affected by this blob of rain and it's gonna kill everybody, like it's climate change. Like just tell us it's gonna rain and there might be some wind and shit. But no, the way that they present it is impending doom. I was impending doom. It's just crazy. Now I have this clip. Representative Katie Porter, I think she's from Los Angeles. She's been digging into the oil companies here a lot here in the last couple of months, and she presents well.
The evidence here is not tricky to understand. I don't need a whiteboard for this one. When you are selling a product and one of your inputs, say you're selling gasoline, and your input, which is oil, goes up in price, you might have to charge more. But if you're just covering the cost of your higher input, you wouldn't see your profits double, quadruple. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it with oil. We're seeing it with food products. So we're seeing these companies, they're not just passing along the cost of the higher input. They're not just passing along their supply chain difficulties. They are using this supply chain moment to increase their profits by raising their prices well beyond the higher costs that they're facing. So nobody is taking away, I think, from the war in Ukraine, from supply chain issues, from labor shortages. These are all real factors. And the price of fuel, of course, affects the price of many other goods. But you cannot look at Wall Street's profits and not come to the conclusion that this is one of the most profitable moments that Wall Street has ever seen, and they are profiting off what they view as really an opportunity to engage in price gouging. And we have to crack down on that as we also try to solve some of these underlying inflationary factors.
I agree with that 100%. Since Biden got in, this was all supposed to happen in 2016. The problem was Trump got into office.
Right.
And when Trump got into office, he started to see some shit. And I don't care what anybody says, and he'll never say this because he can't, because they'll JFK him.
Yep.
He started to fix things, and the people went fucking ballistic. Jesus Christ, he's fixing shit. We can't have him fixing shit. We were just getting ready to destroy everything, and now he's in here fixing shit. And if he starts fixing shit, then how the hell are we supposed to destroy it? Because now they know that somebody can fix shit. So we're not going to have that. I think that they're terrified of having Trump back in again. But we don't need Trump. We need a Trump-like person. Whenever somebody says that they're an America First candidate and they get attacked, what? Why wouldn't you be
right?
America First?
Right.
What are you supposed to be, second, last?
Like, do you need to remind everybody where the fuck they live?
Well, it's like being on a boat and start drilling fucking holes in it because we're too privileged. Yeah. These people that are so upset about, America being first and all this LGBT marginalized people and all that
that's
shit.
A distraction, yeah.
Right. Once things get hard, once there's no formula, once there's no food, once the air conditioning goes off, once all this, they won't give a fuck about those people.
I don't know. Something tells me that they're dumb enough that they'll still be worried about the LGBTQs getting food and the LGBTQs getting power and all these marginalized assholes getting theirs before anybody else.
Nope. No, because as human beings, we have one distinct thing in our brain, our lizard brain, and that's to survive. And it's a dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world out there, and we're all wearing milk bone underwear right now, and it's going to get bad. Right now, they're telling you We're going to have food shortages and we're going to have rolling blackouts. This summer coming up is going to be a motherfucker. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to try to blame it on the Republicans. And if people go for this, I'll be honest with you, I don't trust either party. Because why aren't the Republicans shouting from the fucking treetops about what's going on here? I don't know how you can't see it. I guess because you go and you listen to the Today Show and you listen to all these people and you listen to a fucking dinosaur at the UN and, him telling you don't be extinct, choose not to be extinct. Meanwhile, they're doing it right in front of you and you're letting them.
Well, the mail order president here is in the old folks home, White House old folks home, telling us he's got it covered.
My plan is to address inflation. It starts with a simple proposition. Respect the Fed. Respect the Fed's independence.
Yeah, we got to respect the Fed's independence, man. That's his job, is to sit back and let the Fed do whatever the fuck they want.
Which I have done and will continue to do. My job as president is not to not only nominate highly qualified individuals for that institution, but to give them the space they need to do their job.
In other words, stand back and let them do it.
With their critically important work, the Fed has dual responsibilities. One, full employment. Two, stable prices. Chair Powell and other leaders of the Fed have noted at this moment they have a laser focus on addressing inflation, just like I am. And with a larger complement of board members now confirmed, I know we'll use those tools of monetary policy to address the rising prices.
Mumble some more, fuckface.
I look forward to Chairman Powell's continued leadership at the Fed, and I look forward to the Senate considering my final nominee to the board.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Can you do anything without reading it off of a piece of paper or a fucking teleprompter?
Nope. I can't either, Bob.
Sorry.
I'm 28 years younger than him. What?
I found this one and 18. I found it interesting. Someone has a doppelganger, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Petrosian, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who is a journalist who is always at the White House. I've followed him for a while. Shared this video today, and it is really weird, and I have a million questions.
Where's this?
Does that not look like him?
That fucking looks exactly like him.
That's a fucking Uber.
What?
Why is he carrying his own bags?
Who's that he's talking to?
I don't know.
According to Rob, that's an Uber he's getting into. Why is Joe Biden getting into an Uber? Why is a civilian driving him? Why is he walking through an airport terminal? And why does nobody notice that Joe Biden's walking through an airport terminal? Not one person really stopped to look and say, hey, that's Joe Biden walking through the airport. Where's Air Force One? Why is he carrying his own bags? I'm so confused. What the hell is happening?
That can't be right. That can't be right.
It's a stand-in, a doppelganger, whatever.
Yeah, but let's go with you that it's a doppelganger, it's a stand-in or whatever. As soon as he's walking through the airport carrying his own bags and people see him, they're going to start to surround him. That's a deep fake. I'm sorry, but that can't be right. There's no way that can be right. No way.
Yeah. I mean, that was from a reporter. Apparently well known from a DC reporter.
All right, so remember our girl Greta Thunberg?
Thunberg. How dare you, John? How dare you?
How dare I? All right, so I have a video file. All right, now what I want you to do, I know she was talking about climate change, and this is her famous speech when she was at the UN. What I want you to do is listen to this now and think of her talking to the globalists and the elitists who are destroying the fossil fuel industry, making us all go to solar and wind power, which is not going to sustain us.
Hell no.
And right now we're heading for one of the worst disasters that probably man has ever seen, and the most amount of deaths in the next 5 to 7 years. I think, this is my opinion. Listen to this as she was talking to the globalists and like the people over at the World Economic Forum.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
My
You
favorite
have
one.
stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction. And all
You say that. I think we are. I think it's planned. I think this is the beginning of a mass extinction.
Well,
this is how they're going to do it.
But she's presenting it as we're the ones causing it.
We are. We are. The people in charge right now, are causing this. They're the ones that are making sure that we don't have fossil fuel.
I meant we as the population, not the elites.
Didn't you listen to what I just said? I said, listen to her if she was talking to the elites, like the people at the World Economic, not me and you, dickhead. Of course, we're not doing it. The people in power.
can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
So you're saying that she's addressing them.
Exactly.
Not me and you, but they presented it as she was addressing me and you and the average Joe bag of shit.
You don't listen to me. I swear to God, you don't listen to me at all. I said when we started this, I said, listen to this as if she was talking to the people, the globalists, the World Economic Forum. Phew. Man, I'll tell you what, you love to piss on a bit.
Yes, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures here today, because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
So there you go.
So you remember, I think it was 2 shows ago where I played the clip of her doing the "you can shove your climate crisis up your ass."
Yes.
So maybe she's hip. Maybe you're right. Maybe this or whoever you got this from is right, that she was addressing them, not us.
No, what I did was I went back and I pulled the video of her talking to the UN about climate change. And what I did was I took a couple pieces out where she was talking about climate change and then put it in there where it looks like she's talking to the globalists on what they're doing. And it fit.
It also fits that 3 years later, she's saying you can stick your climate crisis up your ass, because she was talking to them. She wasn't talking to average Joe as it was presented.
Nothing has brought the world out of poverty like fossil fuel, because it's affordable. Well, it was affordable. It was sustainable, and we had plenty of it. We still have plenty of it. There's plenty of it. They refuse to use this because the only way they can control us is if they make things where we have to depend on the government about. We have to depend on the government. They want us to make everybody in the United States. The United States is the last stand. Canada's all in for that shit. Over in Europe, they're all in for the shit. The United States is still the one spot that they got to stamp out. There's still some freedom-loving people in this country.
let's go back 125 years in this country. I would say the bulk of people were self-sustaining. They had their own, little land. They had a little like a farm on it where they grew their own food, that kind of thing. They didn't need anything from the government other than, I would say, protection from invasion from another country or something. But other than that, they didn't need anybody for nothing. They had everything that they needed on their own land. They were self-sustaining, and the government couldn't have that. They stepped in and made everybody dependent on them. So this is all by design.
Remember you told the story about the guy who made an engine that would get 300 miles to the gallon? And then
I talked about Stanley Meyer, I think his name is, the guy who did the water-powered car.
Okay. Where he was poisoned?
Yes.
When he got up and he said, "I'm poisoned," he dropped dead?
Yes.
Well, they're digging that technology up. Right now, I see more and more people that are taking water and something for electrolytes, and they're putting copper plates in there, and they're using electrical charge, and they're separating the oxygen in the water, and it's going into another thing so it doesn't explode, and then it goes into something else where you can extract it and use it for fuel. And people are starting to use these things. Here's another thing that I just found out. That in California, they're using that gasoline with the ethanol 15, where they're using 15% ethanol. Yeah. Also, what that does is, let's say you have a car that gets 30 miles to the gallon. Now your car gets 20 miles to the gallon with
yes.
It. So now you have to pay, the gas is way up, and you get less mileage per gallon with it. So you're paying even more. And the state loves that, because every gallon that they pay, every gallon that you buy, they get more tax money.
Sure.
So they don't give a shit about us. They don't care about us. This is not, and the thing is, if we don't stand up to them, because there's more of us than there is of them, we need to start thinking about what we can do during this next election to send a clear message that this is not going to happen here. And right now they are scared to death, and that's why they want to get rid of these guns. They can't have us being armed. There's too many guns and there's too much ammunition. And if it ever sparks off, they'll never be able to stop it. And I don't care what Biden says. He says, well, you need a tank. No, we don't, because a bunch of rebels with AK-47s kept the United States government at bay for 20-something years. And they didn't have any of that shit.
Nope.
So, and they're terrified of this. And we're the last country that has any resemblance of freedom, that we believe that we have God-given rights to freedom of speech, freedom of protection.
Well, it's capitalism, and they're trying to use that, which I think is part of what makes us a great country. They're trying to use that against us, because one of the greatest things about, capitalism here is that we can make a lot of money and invest in the stock market, but they're using that exact thing, the greatest thing about capitalism, against us to take us all down. So, I mean, that's what all this is with the everything's on the market. Everything is a toy for them now, because everything is traded.
Exactly.
Everything.
What have they fixed? What has government fixed in the last year and a half? Anything?
They have enriched themselves, I would say, in the last like 50 years. I can't name a single thing that they fixed.
So if I can go back to the Abbott FDA situation with the formula.
Yes.
Right now, an Abbott executive says that they should be able to have that plant back up and running by June 4th, which is by Saturday. The FDA says, nope, it's going to be several weeks out. Why? Why is the company saying they can have it running by Saturday, but the government is saying that it's going to be several weeks out? Why isn't there people working around the clock in this plant to get this straightened out?
Well, it's also I mean, from what I understand, they only produced roughly like 40%.
That's
It's
a
like it's
lot.
not our but it's not our entire fucking supply, and they've been, bringing in all kind of imported shit. I watched what I could tolerate of the White House press conference today live, and that was very difficult. It was almost like trying to edit one of our episodes. It was a whole bunch of stammering, stuttering, and that.
I feel your pain.
So yeah, so and she's over here telling everybody and all the journalists that Biden's been on this since day one. Back in February, day one, it was a priority. Yeah, if that's the case, I mean, why? I guarantee, and I'm not trying to backslap Trump. I'm not that kind of a Trump supporter. I think he was better than what we have now, but I don't think he was, orange Jesus.
A sharp stick in the eye would be better than what we have now.
Right. So I guarantee that, I mean, look at what happened whenever COVID came about. All these different like automakers, I think it was like Ford, they began making ventilators, which was a joke to begin with, and then of course we dumped something like I don't know, like 18,000 of them into a landfill, brand new in a box.
Are you kidding me?
There's fucking video of it, dude.
Oh my God.
Thing was a fucking it was a ruse. And then like I buy Adams Polishes car care, to wash my car with. It's what I use to detail my vehicle. Companies like that switched over to making hand sanitizer, things like that, to help us get through. Not that that was a big deal, but I'm pretty sure that Trump would have enacted, I forget what it's called. It's some kind of a wartime thing that the president can do in order to force things to be made, like, say, baby formula, to be made. Not that just any plant could do that, but I mean, what's going on now is, I mean, we talked the other day, they another egg producing plant burnt the fucking ground. It's just more of that, rather than hearing about things going back online, like the Abbott Labs thing. We're hearing the opposite. We're hearing more things fall.
There you go. The Defense Production Act of 1950.
There you go. Thank you, Chef. Thank you, Tristan.
So here's the thing. Taco Bell, their big thing, was on May 18th. The Mexican pizza was coming back.
Yes. It's
June 1st. They can't make enough. They're out of them. The supply chain has fucked them. They can't make enough of them. I went to Taco Bell for dinner tonight, and I looked, and it says, sorry, right now we're out of Mexican pizzas.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, how can you be out of Mexican pizzas? Everything you use on a Mexican pizza, you use on everything else except the tortillas. How can you not have them? So...
Well, so this is a call to all dog walkers. Start walking your dogs in Taco Bell's lawn, so they have some dog shit to take inside and make Mexican pizzas with.
Yes.
The Abbott Labs, Nick says he's in Maine, right? The Abbott Labs in my hometown has never shut down. I think you're the one there probably makes like COVID tests, right? So, because they do make.
Now, I'm not podcasting from the shitter. Well, I'm not going to say I won't have to after we're done here.
Hey, I got one for you. This one's more of a visual, so I'm going to have to read it out. Got a vasectomy, but all it did was change the color of the baby. Look at him. He's like, and he threw his phone across the yard.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
That one cracked me up. It took me a second, but
all right. So here's one I got for you. This is spooky. And the reason I find this fascinating because I do believe sometimes in this reincarnation thing. But here's a woman that's explaining about her 11-year-old daughter.
Last year, my daughter, who's 11, told me that she died in the Twin Towers, that she worked there, and she was in the hallways, and they were dark, and people were yelling, And it was scary, but not painful. And then it was like she went into a dream and woke up in this dream, this life. She said that she had a 3-year-old daughter named Lacey, that she was 31. Her birthday was August 29th. And her boyfriend, who was the father of Lacey, was named Jason. And they had a dog named Stewie. Does anybody identify with this? That would be really amazing.
So I actually believe that this shit happens. I don't think that everybody gets the reincarnation shot, that kind of thing. I
Mhm.
think maybe it's a thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm an idiot, but maybe it's just a thing where if you got fucked, like these kids at the Rob Elementary School,
Yeah.
whatever, they got fucked. And
Yep.
maybe they get to come back and do it again.
Yeah, maybe they weren't supposed to. I forget. There's a couple shows where you weren't supposed to die, and they pull you out at the last minute.
Yeah.
and
There
then
was
you go somewhere else.
there was kind of a neat show that was really cool. Like season 1 was really cool, but then it got weird. It's called Dead Like Me.
Okay,
I don't know if you ever watched that
I
one.
never watched it, but
The
yeah,
girl
there's-
died. The girl died, and rather than moving on, they made her like a reaper, where they would give her a place and time, and she had to be there and touch whoever, just kind of a touch, whoever was about to die. In order, her touch somehow allowed their soul to leave the body and move on. They would. Her job was to, after their soul walked out, got out of the body. She was to, kind of tell them, hey, okay, you're dead now. This is the afterlife, and then usher them to the light, to the train, whatever.
there was a movie
was a cool
where
show.
it was with what was his name? God, he was supposed to be a football quarterback, and he was on a bike, and he was supposed to get hit by a car, and they ripped him out of his body before because they wanted him, but he would have, since he had such great reactions, he would have lived, and they had to put him in another body, and he was a football. What was his name? I can't think of his name. Shelley. God damn it, I can't think of it now.
I don't recall that one, John, or I try to help you out.
Yeah, it was in the 70s or 80s. It was in the 80s. I can't think of the name of the. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. He has a famous sister that's an actress too, Shelley something, not Long, Shelley
Duvall
something. No, I can't think of it. Oh my
Heaven
God, it's
Can
going to
Wait?
drive me crazy. Heaven Can Wait. Heaven Can Wait is the
Sometimes
name of it.
you just wait on that delay between
know.
our live stream and the chat, and then boom.
What's his? What was the actor's name? He's a famous actor. I can't think of
Was it old Ovi?
No, it's not old Ovi. Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty. Was it? Jesus. This is boomer charades right now. That's what this is.
You mean Dick Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he marry Madonna for a minute? Or at least was banging her.
He was banging her, but I don't think they ever got married. I have a story here. And I haven't been able to confirm this yet.
Oh, the last one on the.
Yes.
You better allegedly the fuck out of this one.
Yeah. I think I might have to allegedly the fuck out of this one, as Bob says. I mean, if this is true,
So can I do the kind of the lead in for those who don't know?
Sure, go ahead.
I haven't read what you got here, but I can at least build up to that. Paul Pelosi was arrested for suspicion of DUI. Was it over the weekend?
Yes.
And now we all know the only reason he was arrested is because his car, he was drunk driving, allegedly, and he hit another car. Now, if it would have just been him by himself, no other car involved, I'm sure they would have just said, we'll follow you home, that kind of thing.
Right.
Just, let him go. Which to me leads me, because I've actually thought about this some more. I think he got like $5,000 bail, that kind of thing, which
Something
is not
like
cheap.
that, yeah.
Which is not cheap. I'm pretty sure now that's Cali. He was in wine country, Napa
Right.
Valley. So I know here your first DUI is a grand five, so I don't know. Maybe there are more there, but
Well, they said that he also this was his second, not his first.
Okay. So do you think we should ban cars?
I've been down this road before when you want to say about, more cars kill people than guns. So why wouldn't you, if you're worried about people, why wouldn't you ban cars? Which is stupid.
We make drunk driving illegal.
We have.
Oh.
See,
then why was he doing that?
Because people break the law, Bob.
Because he's a criminal.
Okay.
Like his wife.
Allegedly, he broke a law. We're not saying he's a criminal.
Twice.
Okay. He was convicted on one.
You break a law. Okay. What defines criminal? Breaking a law? You're
being convicted
of a crime.
Convicted.
Well, okay. Was he convicted of his first? Do you know?
From what I understand, allegedly.
Because how can you have two if you were never convicted for one, right?
Again,
doing math.
All right. So then this little nugget dropped out today, allegedly. And if this is true, holy shit. Let's get into it. Paul Pelosi charged with possession of child porn as hashtag Memorial Day trends. Now, Speaker Pelosi's husband. What?
Did you say child porn?
Child porn.
Holy fuck. That's pretty rough.
Paul Pelosi is in serious trouble, could face many years in prison. The 82-year-old husband of the U.S. Speaker of the House was allegedly rearrested this weekend for possession of child pornography and crack cocaine.
Crack pipes.
The MSM reported on the first arrest, but not on the second arrest. Sources indicate Pelosi allegedly paid off prosecutor's office to keep the second arrest off the books. So we have a tweet here now. Speaker Pelosi's husband was caught with child porn and crack pipes. Holy hell. Let's get some arrests going now. What period? The period fuck. Paul Pelosi was first arrested late Saturday in Napa Valley, north of San Francisco, according to the sheriff's office online booking report. He was caught driving with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. Pelosi was originally released on bail, but was rearrested after police found child pornography on his phone, as well as crack cocaine and pipes in his car. The child porn and drugs were not found during the initial search, allegedly. The California Highway Patrol officer and the FBI started an investigation is ongoing, and both Pelosi and his wife Nancy could be facing more charges, allegedly. There has been long suspicion the Pelosi's are tied to international sex trafficking, allegedly. Jesus Christ. But holy cow, now, Dinesh D'Souza, the guy who has the 2000 Mules video or movie, child porn arrest rocks Pelosi's House of Representatives. So I don't know if this is going to gather legs or not, but holy shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if anywhere else but that Vancouver Times.
I couldn't find it.
Everything I find, it links to that article. So
right, that's exactly everything. So this, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. It's this is a report. We're just reporting on a report.
Like it was broken on Gab by a guy named Michael P. Sanger. Not sure who that is.
Well, that Dinesh tweet,
D'Souza.
That's what made me really think. I mean, because if Dinesh is saying that, he could they could sue the shit out of him if he's not right. So it's interesting.
There's a comment that says, "Well, it's stating that the FBI is going to investigate. So much for that." LOL.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have a lefty over here. Fake news. It's a DUI arrest with 5K bail. Well, no, that was part one, allegedly.
That's allegedly a report, John. So
not true. Please take this down. So yeah, we don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'm reporting on a report. You know how like reporters report on a tweet? We're reporting on a report.
Somebody says that Vancouver Times is a satire site. I guess, what is that, like The Onion in Babylon?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, the only thing that makes me nervous, or the only thing that made me even give it a little bit of credibility, was the tweet from Dinesh. And you know what? I didn't even look into that. It happened right before we went live.
Know what we need? We need Scary Poppins.
Scary Poppins. Jesus Christ. Did you see the person that they put in besides when they got rid of her? There's another person in that position right now.
Oh, yeah?
He looks like fucking Dr. Evil. I haven't pulled that up yet. But that guy, he looks like he fits the fucking part.
So it's Mike Myers.
Maybe.
Wow.
All right, Bob, I'm out of ammunition. I think I got it. I said it all. I done it all on my side. What do you got?
All I have left is a song. It's only like a clip of the song, so it's a minute long.
Here we go.
So Tom McDonald.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinion. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, the freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying over.
It's absolutely 100% true. You know what? He's a poet.
He is.
And nobody, and he doesn't get, don't get me wrong. He sells a lot. He's making a lot of cake, a lot of coin, a lot of shekels, but not too many people know of him.
I think it's the only way you can make money when you have hog tattooed under your bottom lip.
Pretty much. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this week.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back Monday morning.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Well, I got to check. You know how it is, man. I can't. Yeah, it looks like Monday.
Yeah, I know how it is. We do this every day at the end. So,
well, I never know what I got going on. Monday, I usually get my testicles laminated, but this Monday, my testicle laminator's on vacation.
On vacation? That's good. All right. We will be back Monday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern, whatever time it is where you live.
Yeah.
And we'll bring this shit show back. And I'm going to stay on this Paul Pelosi thing to see what's going on here. I don't know if this is true or not.
I would do more investigation into the legitimacy of anything put on the Vancouver Times, because that seems more of a, you're not even paying attention.
I'm paying attention. You just didn't finish the fucking sentence. You said
I would do more investigation on the legitimacy of anything put on the Vancouver Times, because it seems.
I thought you were going somewhere else, and then it was.
Yeah, they're trying to point out in the chat while you're being a dick that we're going to be on a dick.
I was waiting for you to say finish the sentence.
Well, that's a first.
Listen. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. If you want me to continue to talk over you, I can.
New leaf. So yeah, next episode Monday is going to be episode triple digits, homeboy.
Wow, that's amazing. That's crazy.
When are you recording next with old Deuce?
Wednesday I will be recording with Deuce.
So next week, all right.
So next Wednesday.
Killer.
Oh, that's right. I'll be doing Brand X in the afternoon, and then coming here to do the bunker at night. So
the show's kind of autopilot, right?
What, ours?
Yeah, it's easy.
I guess. I don't know. We seem to talk for an hour and a half every time, even if we don't think we have enough topics.
Content, yeah. Well,
so
you have the gift of gab.
I certainly do, Bob. I get yelled at for it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they say? My milkshake brings all the people to the yard. All right, everybody.
And tomorrow night, you're doing the John Valby of podcasts, right?
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow night, it's Rubberneckers, episode 2. Oh, you know what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to have trivia. We're going to have trivia quiz in the second half of the show.
We're going to talk about Josh's nutsack.
Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Josh doesn't have any gray hairs on his nutsack.
He's like almost Jody's age, I think. So he's probably not too far. Isn't he married?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I thought he was married.
I thought he was living with somebody, but he says no.
Oh,
what do I know?
Common law married.
He's common law married. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. I thought he was living with a girlfriend, but apparently
I haven't talked to him in a little while, but
I know. So I defer.
He's a good shit. You guys should let him talk more. I know I can tell on the last episode that he had a little bit of cold feet and trying to gauge when he could inject.
I got to figure out what's going on with him. His volume's real low, and there's a lot of times we couldn't hear him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, his volume's low, and we're talking, and he starts to chime in, and I try to put him in as much as I could when because when I got the audio back, I brought up the volume, so I tried to put him in as much as I could. Who's Josh? You know Josh, Nick.
He said comma.
Who Josh? Who Josh?
Yeah.
Who
He was
Josh?
pointing. I think
Yes.
he's asking who we're talking about.
Yeah, I thought I heard allegedly that he was there with somebody, but he says he's not. So he says he's single and ready to mingle, from what I understand.
Really? For some reason, I thought, I don't know, maybe I'd talk
I
to somebody
felt
else.
the same way. I thought the same thing, but what do I know? Nothing.
He just seems like tame, like he's got a woman taming him down. You know what I mean? Like,
He's an old soul. You know what I mean? For his age, he's an old soul. That's why I thought he would fit well with the rubberneckers.
like Tristan. He's kind of an old soul too for a 24-year-old kid. You know,
Right. They were going to have Tristan come on 3 weeks and say that they didn't want him and fire him, and I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it to that poor kid.
He's a
I'm not
good
doing
shit,
it.
man.
He's a
I
good
love
guy.
it. I
He's
would
a
be
good
proud
guy.
to have Tristan as a son. I think
There
he's
you
a
go.
good kid.
You can adopt him, I'm sure.
Kind of
Pack his bags in.
did. I mailed him a fucking microphone. And I still haven't heard it. And it's been like a month and a half. I haven't heard it.
I listened to
don't know if it
him
sounds good or not.
I listened to him in Discord, and he sounds good. So the mic sound works.
Good deal.
So it does. It does work. All righty, everybody. We will be back now that we've bored you with our see, this is why. Okay. Can we talk about Eric Zane for a second?
Yeah, he's not watching.
No, he's not. But the people will dime us out. Anyhow.
Dead.
So
he doesn't read he no longer reads his chat. So fuck it.
All right. So here's the deal. I believe that podcasting, you got to hit your best stuff in the beginning. You got to hook people. You got to keep them. You got to get them in there. You got to hook them. You got to entertain them right away. It's not like radio. Radio, you're always trying to get them to the next quarter hour. You're always, hey, coming up, we're going to be doing this. Oh, you're going to hear this in the next half hour, and all. So what they do is they try to use the stuff that they, the boring stuff's in the beginning of the show.
Well, they do that with the news and the weather and that kind of shit too
Yeah.
on TV,
Yeah. And to me, it's like, you know what? I just can't with what the hell was he talking about today? I forget what he was talking about today. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was done with it. I couldn't last. And I never end up getting back to it. What was he talking about today? I forget what he was talking about first thing in the morning. And I was like, really? Is this what we're talking about today? I'm listening to this. Why? And that's the thing with podcasting. You got to hook them. You got to, it's you're tap dancing the whole time.
The only thing I remember hearing about was because I did not watch his whole show. I had to, go to work and I had things I had to take care of. So, he was pushing some charity event coming up or something like that.
That was yesterday.
Okay. Well,
today was, I forget what
my
he was
issue is he needs to embrace that he is not just Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, that's true too.
He's because it's very inside baseball for everybody who doesn't live there.
Well, the Zaniacs know what he's talking about. They do.
I get it that's currently the majority of his listeners, but he may want to kind of weed in a little, I don't know, less of that. Because when he starts talking about all this shit that's going on up there, I'm like, I have no interest in this. I'm not there. I don't care. And it makes me click away to off the show. And I really enjoy Eric. I think Eric's a great guy.
He's the nicest guy.
I enjoy his show. When he's talk about topics that I can relate to, but when even during, like, I don't care about hockey or sports or any of that stuff, but when he does, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm listening because he makes it entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Like when he talks about stories, like when he's in there talking about stories and everything, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But when I said tomorrow, I think he was talking about doing stuff around the house. I can't remember. What he was talking. It's driving me crazy. I can't remember what he was talking about. And I was like, what are we doing? And what's he talking about tomorrow? Watch it paint dry? First thing in the morning. Whatever. Hey, do your show the way you want to do the show. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. In my humble opinion, you got to hit the ground running. You got to bring your best stuff up front. And then if you want to talk about shit that's personal stuff, you do it at the end, like we're doing now, because our fans, our real fans, are still here and they understand this.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nick, Maine Zaniac here, and he loves the insights into Michigan.
Maine as in the state, not as in primary.
Yeah, Maine. M-A-I-N-E.
Yes.
As in Maine lobster.
As in pain.
Correct. So I don't know. Hopefully, listen, he was just on vacation. Maybe he needs a couple days to get back in the swing of things.
Well, I also noticed he quit addressing anything going on in the chat, or at least I didn't notice any of it. Now I'm not 100% paying attention when I've got him on my phone. I'm, making my lunch or unloading the dishwasher, whatever. I'm not always paying 100% attention. So, yeah,
we try. I mean, if I can't, sometimes I can't pay attention to the chat. I try.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing that's a bitch too is that there will come a comment like, my wife earlier made a good comment and I wanted to bring it up, but we had already moved on. That's the bitch of the delay between us and them, and the show progress, whatever you want to call it, the show.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things, if I could bitch about you for a minute, and I can, so I will.
Please.
You said let's start using the board again. It's where we put our topics so we know what we're doing.
Sure.
I'm okay with that. But you don't put everything on the board. I do. Everything I'm going to talk about is on the board. So you know what we're going to do.
Well,
so I don't know when to move on or not.
A couple of things pop up when I get out here. I'll go to download like a video that I need to, pull my video clips. And I'm like, oh, look, hey, what is that? Sweet.
Yeah, well, I go all the way up until showtime. If I find like the Paul Pelosi thing, I found that right before we went on. I'm like, I'm throwing this up here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'll throw it up there. I like the idea of like, hey, Bob, I've been thinking. If you could do hey, John, I've been thinking. Like something where you pick a topic.
You are not encouraging me to speak more.
Yes, I am.
No,
yes,
not.
I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Stop it.
I'm the parody guy and the intro monologue guy. That's it.
No, you're not. No, you're not. If you choose to be, don't sit there crying like, ooh, get in there and elbow up and get in there. But I think if we put our stuff
earlier, when
we have to be able to know what we're talking about, because we start moving on, and then it's a dance. Then it's a dance because I don't know what you're doing. And there was times where I was like, oh, he thinks he's moving on, but I'm coming right back to this topic again as soon as he's done talking about McDonald's. I'm coming right back to I've been practicing this gay speech all day, and if he thinks I'm not doing this tonight, he's out of his fucking mind. And I fucked it all up. But what do I care?
When we were in the green room pre-show, I didn't know if you wanted to talk to me or not. I was in a mode.
Playing the guitar.
I know. Well, all you had to say is, hey, fuck face.
I hear you. Hey, you don't hear this on the Eric Zane show. He ain't fight with his co-host, is he?
No. Well, he will import via telephone somebody to fight with.
Oh, he will.
Well, he
did that to me once too. That's right. Yeah, he did do that with me once.
Oh, he doesn't have my number. I don't think I should give it to him.
See, here's the thing. I have his number. I'm never texting him. Never. No. I'm not doing that.
No.
If he wants to talk to me or something, like if I have something to tell him, I email him.
Yeah.
That's too personal. Texting somebody. Hey, it's John Gismingo. Just wanted to tell you. Listen, I got all these other Zaniacs giving me shit, although I am an official Zaniac now. I think. Yes. So all right, everybody.
What is the first rule of a Zaniac Club?
We'll talk about Zaniac Club.
And you just did, so you're out. Ha.
No. They love me. They love me. I'm one of them. This Saturday night.
If you moved to Michigan, you'd be closer to your woman.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know how many miles that would be, like 1,000 miles.
It's like half. That would be like half. It would still be 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Whew.
I looked it up because I wasn't 100% sure where Grand Rapids was. I kind of had an idea. I knew it was near, Lake Michigan, towards like the southwest end of Michigan, but I didn't know because I was born not too far from there. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I was born in East Chicago, Indiana. Indiana, right there near Gary.
All right. All right, everybody. We're cutting out. We'll talk to you on Monday.